updating software, and eventually, if you don't update for long enough, your hardware also becomes obsolete. So you have to update hardware as well. So it is a very real problem. What Microsoft have done following this recent attack is they've gone back to software that had been obsoleted by them, so they were no longer supporting it, and they have gone back and created security patches to try and close these vulnerabilities down to make them safer. But it's the way that software companies work. They will only support a piece of software for so long, and then they move on to their new product, and they want everybody else to move on to the new product. So you can protect yourself to a degree by all of the basics that we should be doing, which is running patches on our software, particularly critical security patches, running antivirus software, having firewalls, having strong passwords, not using the same password for everything that we do, which is, it's something that we all do because it's so much easier, but really don't. And have really good discipline about emails. I had a security company talking the other day, and they run phishing attacks on their own staff. So they're testing their own staff awareness. Will they click a link? Will they open an attachment? And even within a security company, their success rate was only 70%. So 30% of the people were still clicking and opening attachments.
Goodness, Kate.
So it seems like as an individual, the best way to defend yourself is, well, one, to do the things you just said, but also to have backups and multiple backups of your stuff and a system in place. But what I'm wondering, even if you have that in place, are these attackers able to get your data or information off of your computer, or is it just a lockdown? Is any of your personal information at risk of not necessarily being destroyed, but being stolen?
Yes, everybody needs to step away from the idea that you can be safe online, because that's a dangerous concept. We don't expect our houses, for example, to be completely impenetrable, or our cars. We accept there's a certain element of risk there. And it's the same online, that in 16 years, we've always been able to hack into things. So cyber criminals, whoever they are, be they, 10-year-old girls hacking into the CIA, which has happened, through to sort of lone wolf cyber criminals, to criminal gangs and hacktivist groups, all the way up to sort of state-led. They are after multiple things. They're after your data. They're after credit card information. They want to try and get into your bank account. They're looking to steal company secrets, military secrets. We've all got things digitally that are valuable to us, and it is impossible to entirely protect them. It comes down to how valuable is it to you, and how much time and effort and budget are you prepared to spend protecting it. And you can make it very, very difficult, and you can make yourself safe from most of these types of attacks, but you'll never be 100% secure.
Is it fair enough to say as well, Paul, that sometimes some of these threats, the worst ones, are the ones you don't know about, because you could well have things lurking on your computer where the hacker has created for themselves access to your computer and all of your data that Kate's worried about, and you don't know that, and they can, when they want to access your computer or call up your computer and use it to do their bidding from afar and do all kinds of things, and actually we're not aware that's happening.
That's very true, and that's the majority. The majority of cyber attacks are stealthy. They don't want you to know they're there. And again, if you think about it in terms of someone breaking into your house, they don't want to wake you up. They want to come in quietly, steal what you've got, and be away with it. A ransomware is a very noisy attack, because you have to be alerted because they want you to pay, but by far the majority of attacks are stealthy. The Internet of Things, people are releasing devices at a fantastic rate. Then there's a rush to get products to market that connect to the internet, with sort of, whether it's a smart fridge or a smart doll or a smart meter, and these things are being developed in a way that's very, very insecure. So cyber criminals went out and attacked 2.5 million devices, put malware on them, and then used those 2.5 million devices, which the owners of those devices were completely unaware of that they'd been infected, but were able then to point those 2.5 million devices and have them attack simultaneously individual websites, which created the biggest DDoS attacks that the world had ever seen. So yet you don't necessarily know, and they're not necessarily always after you. They might just be taking over your machines to help them attack other people.
And just to finish, Paul, and to focus people's minds, what proportion do you think of people's computers probably do have malware on them? If you took an average person off the street, and I appreciate this is a hard question for you to answer, but plucking a number from the air with all of the risk attached there too, what proportion do you think?
I think if you think that last year 3.1 billion records were leaked, I think it's probably fair to assume that most of us have got our data on the dark web. It's been stolen at some point from either from us directly or from websites that we use, which is why it's really important to change the information that you have. And if you think in business terms, I've seen stats between 50 and sort of 75% of businesses in the UK reporting cyber attacks last year. So it's 1 in 2 or worse, your probability of being attacked.